So I want to make this video and talk about something that I don't think you get to really see on the internet, and especially when we talk about Prince, you know. So what I want to show you guys today is something that I don't really think you get to see very often, and I would really like to know your guys' opinion in the Prince community, and I want to know if you have any information about this. I would love to know. And I'm here to really talk about is these two albums in particular. Basically, what are these are is called Prince Graffiti Bridge Rough Mixes. So basically, what these are demos and outtakes of the 1990 album Graffiti Bridge. Some songs were recorded around the time, and some songs changes here and there on the album. And so I would love to know if anybody out there knows any information about this, could help me out here and want to know, are these things legit, like real releases by Prince? And I'll get into my reasonings why in a bit. But I thought I'd talk about it for a bit because, like I said, this is something you do not see online whatsoever. And here is the back for you guys. So let's talk about this real quick. So where did I get these from? So I got this from on eBay. There was a bit that was going on for the album Graffiti Bridge, and somebody was selling these rough mix demo takes for Prince on the internet. This was around the time when pretty much Prince died, and somebody was selling them for $30, these both collections. I won the bid, so I ended up paying like $30 for the album. And ever since then, I just, it's been my collection forever. And I always found this album very interesting because I don't know anything about it. Like seriously, when you look up on the internet and look up this album, there's not much information about it. So I'm just curious, like, where did this thing come from? Like, are these like what do you call it? Bootlegs? Are these bootlegs? Now, the reason why I have a hard time thinking if it is a bootleg is because, first of all, it has this scan out thing. Now, I don't know if that really means anything, but obviously in stores, they would have stuff like that would print out like that. Not only that, though, but you also got this signature right here, disc. That's what, I believe that's what Prince was, when he releases an album, you usually would see that stamp on his album. So I don't really know what these things are. So like I said before, these are, I can't speak today. What these pretty much are is just demos and outtakes, some unreleased songs for the Graffiti Bridge album, different changes on some songs here and there. And we got some really good songs on here that are definitely worth something to have, like legit physical copies of these. And I'm about to name out some of the songs, but I'm trying to think if there was anything I wanted to say about this. So yeah, if you are planning on at any point in your time to have one of these albums, I will say is that there's supposed to be two of them. These two are supposed to come together. Apparently these two mashed together for their album. So let's open this up. This is the disc one, the CD version. So when you open it up, it comes with this slip right here. I think every single rough mix comes with one, or they should. And so here it is. And I'll show you guys what the CD looks like, just to really show you. I really don't want to. It's kind of rare to pull out the CD, but here it is. And the condition on this thing is great. Like, it's really, really good. So that's the CD. As you can tell, it says GB1, which I'm assuming that just means Graffiti Bridge 1. And that's the back. Yeah, this is really cool stuff, guys. Like, this is something I don't think you don't really get to see out on public, especially on YouTube. So this is something special. So I'm really hoping somebody out there on YouTube who's a huge Prince fan can tell me some of this stuff. I'm having a hard time putting that away. But this is this is GB2, and what's interesting is that on the bottom of this says GB2 too. So of course they both go together. So there's the back for that one, and let's get the CD out for this one. I really like the CDs on this because they're really cool looking disc, especially this one in particular. Look at that one. Like, this is something you don't really see. Like, this is crazy. Like I'm thinking these things are so rare. They, like, I swear, dude, like, I never seen anything like this before. Like, and I bought this a while back. Okay, so now the next thing I want to talk about is why do I think it's valuable. Now, first of all, it's Prince. First of all, when we talk about unreleased songs, outtakes, about Prince, it means a lot. And to the fact that there's actually an unreleased song or a different version of a certain song, that's quite itself and itself a huge thing to listen to. But if there's an actual legit official release by Prince of unreleased demos, then that's something to talk about. So what I'm going to be talking about is some of the more interesting parts about the Rough Mix. Like I said, what you're going to be getting off the Rough Mix album is, while all the songs from Graffiti Bridge are on here, and they all sound pretty much the same, but there are some little parts in a lot of the songs that they were either removed, certain parts of lyrics were changed. A good example on the back here. So the song, okay, first let me show you what songs are on this. So the first song is Can't Stop This Feeling I Got, New Power Generation, Elephants and Flowers, We Can Funk, Joy and Repetition, Tick Tick Bang Bang, Melody Cool, The Grand Progression, Graffiti Bridge, New Power Generation, Part 3, keep that in mind. These are the bonus tracks now, the P, Play, and there's the blues version of Thieves in the Temple, and The Question of You Demo 1. And that is pretty much what it says in the back here. So let me get some of the cooler points behind this. First of all, We Can Funk is a way different version from this one, from the release version. I mean, the song is exactly the same thing, but this is like the raw version of it. And to give you the idea what's this version, I like to call it the George Clinton version. Because in this version, you get to hear George Clinton sing at one point of the song, and the song's a lot longer too than the official release. The next interesting part is the Melody Cool. Anybody knows a woman sings that song in the release version. However, in this song, Prince sings it. Like, Prince legitimately sings Melody Cool. And I'll be straight up honest with you, the song is, it's alright. I definitely like the female version. I don't remember her name. I'm sorry. I just really need to make this video and talk about this. But yes, it's really interesting to hear the Melody Cool. However, my favorite unreleased song on the Graffiti Bridge album is the next song called The Grand Progression. That is like one of my favorite unreleased songs, and it's on this CD. And that's one of the reasons why I bought this collection in the first place, just so I can have this song. But The Grand Progression, oh, it's so good. It's basically a different version of the song Still Withstand on Time. It's basically that, but from what I read on the internet, The Grand Progression goes as early as, like, I think 1987, during the early production of Graffiti Bridge. But it was quickly carried over to, the 1990 film. But I think Prince pulled it out last second for Would Still Stand on Time, which that's the history behind The Grand Progression. That's a really huge, great song. Graffiti Bridge is a bit different too. And the next song is New Power Generation Part 3. Now, keep in mind, in the release version, there's only Part 1 and 2. There is a Part 3 to it, and that is crazy to think about. So for the bonus tracks, the P, that was a Tevin Campbell song. However, this is a Prince version of the outtake, and there's a song called Play on here. There's also a song called Thieves in the Temple for the blues version. Basically, it's an acoustic version. Obviously, if you're a huge hardcore Prince version, if you're a hardcore Prince, you would already heard that. Might have already heard the blues version, but if you haven't, there is a acoustic, and it's very creepy to listen to when you hear the blues version. And there's also The Question of You, the demo. It's interesting to listen to. There's no vocals. All it is just sound in the background when you listen to it. It's really cool to listen to. But that's basically one. This is the second CD. This is one of the more interesting collection. Now majority of the songs on here that they're not on, some of them are not on the Graffiti Bridge album. This album in particular songs by other artists, but it's still cool to have. So a lot of the songs that, if you're a huge Graffiti Bridge fan, that are not on this album, well, majority of them are on this album. So for example, you got I Still Can't Stop, I got I Can't Stop This Feeling I Got, Still Withstand All Time, God Is Alive, Round and Round, Number One, and Dobie Dupe, My Tree, Eliminate Negativity, Heaven Is Keeping Score, Undercover Lover, Love Machine, and The Question of You demo, part 2. And that's basically what's on this album in particular. So to quickly move on with this, the more interesting things to hear on here, Still Withstand on Time, there is a missing part, and there is a little section in that part of the song where it has never been heard of. It's really interesting to listen to. It's kind of an unreleased song, but not really. I mean, the song still remains the same, but don't know. God Is Alive, that song is sung by somebody else. Round and Round, obviously, Tevin Kimball sings that song. Number One, somebody else. But the one cool thing I will say about this is the Love Machine. Anybody knows about Graffiti Bridge would know that The Time sings Love Machine, that really filthy song, like Don't Lie, you want some head that'll make you cry. Well, in this version, however, Prince sings the song, and that is, in my opinion, the better version. It's not as clean though. That's the one thing I will say, and that's something throughout the entire album. I will say about these two. Some songs are at the highest quality, but some of them are not though. And I think Love Machine is a great example of if it's kind of a crappy like sound quality version, but it is really cool to listen to Prince sing Love Machine instead of The Time. So that's one of the coolest things. Another thing I like about it is there's also The Question of You demo 2. So there's another sound album for The Question of You demo. It's really cool to listen to. I'm sorry if I'm really rushing this, but I really wanted to get this video out there. I'm also kind of excited too because, like I said, guys, these things are extremely hard to find. Like I don't know what the value for these things are, but I would love to know anybody who's a huge Prince fan knows anything about these. Are they worth anything? Personally, I think they probably do, because like this is amazing. Like this is so cool like to look at. Like this is something I've never seen before. I said that probably like 7 times by now. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you guys got to learn a bit about something about Graffiti Bridge. Obviously, if you know me really well, Graffiti Bridge is my favorite album by Prince. It's one of the most interesting times for me, or one of the more interesting time for Prince and Graffiti Bridge. And to have something like this in my collection is something I am well happy to have. So that being said, hope you guys enjoy this video. Get you guys next time.